Today I'm going to be taking apart the very first computer that I ever used. This is the computer that I started off with. And yeah, so it's an Asus T100TAF. I have it right over here for us. It unfortunately got a cracked screen when it got knocked off a table, but here's the computer. Got a sticker that my sister stuck on it. So I've already popped off the back case and take off some of the screws since I need to take the hard drive out for another computer build. That's the reason why I got it back from my sister. So I'm gonna put that to the side. But yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like underneath. In order to take the hard drive off, I actually had to take this back panel off. So there's this right here was where the hard drive was. It was just sitting right here, pretty much made up the whole bulk of this back case here. As you can see, when I had to remove the side panel, it took out two of the keys. These keys are right here. We got this end key and the other more different function key that were there. Just get rid of those before I lose them somewhere. So yeah, I popped off like that. Oops, got a little caught there. It was just like that, and it popped off like that, coming out just like this, taking off all those screws, and we're gonna move that to the side. So then we get down here to this. Then we just spin this around here so I can see what I'm looking at. Today we're going to be using our Mastercraft school kit. I would recommend using an iFixit toolkit, but you know, this is all I had on hand, so this is what we're using. I'm going to put that over to the side here. Also have my LTT screwdriver, and just in case I need, I have a knife so I can try to spludge some things off, because hopefully if I have some time, I'm going to try to take the screen apart as well. So let's get on to the back. We're just going to see how much we can take off from here and just have some random fun. Looks like we can remove this ribbon cable here. I'm not too worried about being safe with this because I really could not care less, since this is just going to end up in the recycling, since the computer is way too old to actually be used anymore, and it's shipped with 1 GB of RAM. Actually, you know, while I take this off here, this other ribbon cable here for the keyboard, let me go through the specs for this computer. So when I bought it, it was when I was entering grade 6, so that was a solid many years ago. Looking for a Phillips head screwdriver here to take this off. And pretty much it shipped with 1 GB of RAM on the top part. So it had this lovely feature that it was a 2-in-1. So you had the keyboard at the bottom here that obviously came with that 500 GB of storage, and then you had the screen, which was a tablet that mounted into here. Obviously the other side of here, I'll move that back so you guys can see a little better, but it obviously mounted onto this side here, and then you pressed the button down and popped it off. And so the tablet came with 32 GB of storage. That was eMMC flash, so pretty much useless storage, and then 1 GB of RAM. And then when you connected it to the bottom here, you got yourself 500 GB of hard drive storage. So, but still only 1 GB of RAM. So it was good for Windows 8, which it shipped with. I upgraded to Windows 10, and that made it really slow. But other than that, it was pretty good system. So this is the other ribbon cable here. I think that controls the connector that connected to the screen so it could pass back and forth information. It was connected over a USB bus. So, I can unscrew this screw here. It's connected over a USB bus. So yeah, you were only getting USB like 2.0 speeds for the hard drive. There. Okay. I have no idea what that is, just a big piece of plastic. Okay, that's gonna pop off there. So yeah, that's a little greasy. Trying not to get that grease anywhere. Pretty much just spun around on there like that. Yep, definitely got some grease on my hands. And then looks like it was connected here, through and into there. I have no idea how to even take that off, and I'm not even gonna get started with that. But yeah, as you can see, there was just a little connector right there that connected like that. On this chipset here, here we go, T100TAF T3 Wi-Fi. Oh, this must have been the Wi-Fi. That couldn't have been the Wi-Fi chipset, because I still had Wi-Fi when I had it in tablet mode. Who knows what this is, but yeah, there was a USB port that stuck out the side here. Otherwise, you had micro USB and micro HDMI on the tablet itself. Don't think I'm going to be able to pop this off. Oh, maybe. Oh, there we go. I can just rip it off. It got stuck with this sticker here. So there we go. That's where it connected. That's where it connected to the keyboard. That's where it connected to the hard drive. And then right there, connected to the trackpad. Okay, let's put that to the side. Here we got the back of the keyboard and the trackpad. So let's see if we can take off the trackpad first here. This is a very useful toolkit. It is obviously cheaper than the iFixit coming from Mastercraft, but feel like iFixit is a good company to support considering their mission. So there we go, trackpad comes out. It's actually pretty cool, feels pretty nice. Yeah, I actually never held a trackpad like that before. But there we go, got a nice trackpad like that. And it's nice and soft on the bottom here. I'm going to try to rip off this stuff here. I'm going to throw that in there because this is most definitely garbage. I'll rip off this stuff here and see if maybe I can get into the inner workings a little more. It doesn't look like I can, but I can definitely rip off that ribbon cable. Yep, just looks like a little chipset there and a little trackpad. That's actually pretty cool. I keep that. Okay, and so then all that's left is the keyboard, which is here. Really not that interesting. Looks like we got one screw there. That is a screw that I do not have the screw hole for. And yeah, I think I can just feel it popping off here. Let's pop all these, I think, with my knife. Good thing I brought that out. Pop. Oh, this is gonna have to go underneath here. Pop. It's gonna make all sorts of lovely craft all over my nice desk pad, which I will inevitably have to vacuum up afterwards, but that's why we got the Dyson vacuum. Just how much of this I can dump off here. Yeah, I can just feel, oh look, there's the Enya key. Oh, actually, I guess it's not Enya key. That's the letter in the Spanish alphabet with the N and the tilde on top. The tilde is the key. The N is the thing. And I know I didn't pronounce it correctly, but it's because my nose is a little bit stuffed up. It's negative 20 degrees outside. Oh, I bent the metal on that one. See, this knife is working perfectly for this. So for people that are like, oh, you have to have a fancy splitter. No, you don't. Just use a knife. Wow, I definitely lost a lot of keys off the front. I don't think I actually did anything useful to that. I think I just popped off a whole bunch of keys. And there's the space bar. Boop, 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 boop. Fun, fun. Okay, well, that was a mess. So there we go. That is the disassembly of the keyboard and the bottom part. Okay, so here we are back for round two. We now have the top of the display, as I said, with the crack in it. I think what we're going to do is take a flathead screwdriver and we're going to use it to punch in through these holes here and see if we can pop the screen off. I know I did this once because I remember the battery went bad in here after about, I guess that was like 3-4 years. Oh my goodness, it's still on. Okay, let us not do that then. Just going to power that off. I thought it was dead and out of battery, but I guess it is not. There we go. That is powered off. Good. Okay. Looks like it's off. Okay. Let's pull out the spludger here, or what is not actually a spludger, but what is actually just a flathead screwdriver. And we're going to start at the bottom here and work our way across. Seeing what we can pull out. It's a lot nicer working with it now than when I originally, fixed the battery, because now it's like, well, if it breaks, it breaks. It's pretty much broken and garbage anyways. Okay, well, that is the exciting part, so let's start with the not so exciting part. Plastic back panel, as you can see, buttons, button, slots for, like I said, the, oh, I forgot about the audio jack. Oh, and the micro SD card, totally forgot about that. So there's an audio jack, mini HDMI, mini USB, or sorry, micro USB, and then a micro SD card slot. I use that with like a 64 gigabyte SD card in order to up my storage on this part, so I could run some more programs on there. I did put a couple games, but mainly they were stupid games off Steam that were obviously not AAA games, and obviously not games that were going to even be really games. They were like smartphone games that people had ported to Steam. So I'm going to go get rid of that because that is pretty useless, but that is a lovely tray for our screws. There's the battery. I remember replacing this. As you can see, it has been blacked out right here. I don't know if you can see that, but if you look a little closer, you can see that it's been blacked out right there. That's because this was definitely stolen from a factory and someone sold it on like Taobao or eBay or something like that. Don't use a metal thing, but I only have metal and metal, so we're using a metal thing. I also don't think there's enough power in here to actually shock me anyways. It is a 31 watt-hour battery, which is nothing compared to the batteries of laptops today. However, it did last me the whole day at school, which was always a little surprising. There we go. Pop that out. Now the battery is disconnected. I believe the battery was just stuck on here. So I believe it should pop out, but I'm not going to risk that because I don't want battery juices all over me. Let's see what we can start with. Got my screwdriver on again. So this looks like the main board here. Obviously had our CPU and our RAM, or our 1 GB of RAM. This looks like the speakers here. Oh, you can see right there, the T100TAF on the side. And then here's our ribbon cable going up here to what was the power button. And then the headphone thing, or sorry, not the headphone, the camera module right here. Let's start with the camera. This is being filmed on a camera, not the same camera. I think I remember using the camera on there for like some just like joking around kind of stuff. That was a terrible camera. I wish they had a better camera, and I wish, to be honest, they had embraced the whole tablet thing a little more. If they had embraced the tablet thing a little more, it probably could have been a better computer, but they didn't. Just like the Lenovo thing that just came out that has an Android tablet, and that would be really nice. There's a little micro camera. I'll put that to the side. Okay, that looks like, I don't know, some sort of infrared reader there or something, or maybe that's a Wi-Fi antenna. You know what, that's a Wi-Fi antenna. That's what that is. Okay, this looks like the whole entire screen thing, so we'll get to that afterwards. Let's start with this piece of equipment here. Oh, just lost a screw. And then this one over here. It's nice to get this off nice and fast and not have to worry about, oh, I gotta save these screws because maybe they gotta go over there, or save these screws because maybe they gotta go over there. It's just like, pull them out. Just get it going. Take this one off here. Oh, this one's a ribbon cable down. Goes all the way across to over there. And yep, it's pretty much just a power button and a volume up and a volume down and I have no idea what that button was for. Power, volume up, volume down. Maybe that was the reset switch. I actually don't remember. It doesn't say, it just says switch 309. Switch 307, 308, and 309. Power switch is 306. Okay, here's our speakers. Let's unscrew those. Those were also very terrible speakers. I had nothing, definitely not MacBook speakers, we'll put it that way. Okay, that's where they come out. We're just gonna pull that off because I don't really care. There we go, speakers. Yeah, you can just feel how bad that is. It was nicely cased. Let's see if I can rip off the case here. No, I cannot. Okay, there's that. Now we look at the main board. Here, the main motherboard. Make sure I'm still keeping that in the center of the frame. Pull off these screws here. Screw, screw, screw. Let's keep going here. Keep this going. Looks like there's a screw here and a screw there. And one more screw there. I have a feeling there's probably some that are either hidden or I don't know, maybe they're painted green, camouflaged, something like that, because I have a feeling that this should not be this easy to take apart. But then again, maybe it predated a time when people were really into taking apart their computers, and so they don't have to worry about that as much. Okay, let's see. It's definitely still stuck down somewhere over. Oh, nope. It's a coming. Okay, here's another ribbon cable that needs to get popped off. Fortunately, it's covered with some tape, which is making it a little harder. Let's see if I can pull that off like that. There we go. There goes the tape. And so we can see 1 and 2 little snips there. I can pop those open. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh, instead I broke the ribbon cable. That was not the intention. But that will do the same thing. Okay. There is the main board. See if we can just pop it up just a little bit here. Okay, I got one more ribbon cable here. This looks like the motherboard top cable. Wow, this is not easy to grab. Especially when it's all taped on here like this. I feel bad for the people that have to put all that together. I have to scoop all those tiny little things. I'm just going to use this, to be honest. There we go. That works. Okay. Ah, I see. It is still affixed to this here. I have no idea if that is going to free this or if I'm going to have to take this whole entire thing off. Let's hope that it is not the latter. Ah, there we go. Nice. Okay, pop that off. Oh, we got a wire still there. I'm just going to break that. I really could not care less right now. Okay, there we go. So, if you can see there, this is our CPU, our Intel Celeron, I think it was, or Intel Atom, something like that, and then an SK Hynix chip. And there's the 32 gigabytes of Samsung memory. Oh, so it wasn't as bad as eMMC then. Asus board. There's where the SD card would have connected right in, where our micro HDMI would have connected in, our mini HDMI, our micro USB, and then our audio combo jack. The coolers for that stuff. So yeah, coolers for the RAM. Ah, so it could have come with 2 gigabytes of RAM, or potentially more, seeing as how there's 2 spots here for RAM. Definitely wish I would have got that one. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna move that over to the side. Now we have basically what is the screen display and the battery. So let's take this off here. This is going to be the majority of the screws, obviously. Okay, that's good. Oh, another little mini one there. Nice. Another little mini one there. There'd be a lot of screws here to remove. One thing I do not like about this set is these do not stick in as well. Have I never tried an iFixit set? I cannot say if they stick in there as well, but I have a feeling they probably do, considering people just rant and rave about them. So there we go. Popped that off. Oh, garbage. Okay, let's see if we can get this whole entire display off here then. There we go. Oh, there was a little bit of hot there. Okay, so that is basically just the metal. That is actually a pretty sturdy metal plate. Machined aluminum there, definitely aluminum. Yeah, I would have pulled the heat away from the CPU that was attached here and spread it out over the whole entire display. And the back, cooling it off, and then also was attached to the battery. The battery, I think, is glued down. Yeah, it is glued down pretty solidly. So I'm not going to try to pull away that, because if anything, my dad helped me out with that and he probably used crazy glue, so it is probably stuck on there and not coming off, and I am not in the interest of cutting that open because I do not want to start a fire. Okay, then we get down to here, our last part here. There's the LCD display cable. There is no screws, no screws, one screw, no screw. I think there's just one screw holding this thing in place. Let's unscrew that. There we go. Nope, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. I have no idea what's going on here. I'm just going to try to punch this up with all of these. Some sort of connector there. Ah, here's the 2 connectors that held in the, or I guess they're not connectors, they're just placeholders that held in the keyboard to the computer. If we can just pry that up. Now, you would probably say, why don't you just sell this out of like these parts? Because maybe someone needs to replace one. I strongly doubt someone needs to replace an Asus. Honestly, if you were going to get this or get a Chromebook, this is one of the only situations where I would say get a Chromebook. Like, if you already have one of these, it might just be time to get a Chromebook. If that's all you can afford. However, I would say get literally any Windows laptop, because at least it's a Windows laptop and at least you can actually do something with it. But yeah, so there's the display, just like that. Oh, it's funny, I can see the GoPro now. So the display, pretty nice. Yeah, that ribbon cable there. You know what, there probably is a way to turn this display into something useful, because the display itself does actually work. As you can see, the display is just fine. There's no cracks anywhere on it, and it is a touchscreen display. The only thing is that it's the glass itself. So if we look here, here's the glass. There's the connectors there. Put that in. I'm not entirely sure what those. Oops. I'm not entirely sure what those connectors are for, since they seem to just go in. They are for the touchscreen. This is what makes the touchscreen operate. But yeah, as you can see, the touchscreen got damaged there, good and broken, and that has caused the touchscreen itself to not work at all. So after that was broken, it worked for like a couple hours, and then it most definitely was broken. This is also not glass, or this is glass, but it's plexiglass, not window pane glass, obviously. And yeah, you can see that. And so the display itself is actually fine where it was. So like this is where it was. Those connectors were there. Yeah, it goes down like this. So yeah, it's all good. Looks just like that. Take it off, and this is all you get. So yeah, pretty nice. You got the display casing. I'll move those out of the way. We got our main board here. This is not exactly in order for anyone wondering. The speakers. Some crap on my hand there. Here's the heat spreader that would have sat on top of the main board like this, but obviously like this. The battery, and then our bottom case. There we go. So there is a fully deconstructed T100TAF, a very random piece of Asian technology, a very random piece of Asus's engineering. Yeah, a laptop that was detachable into a tablet that had 1 GB of RAM, 32 GB of on-deck storage, and then a 500 GB hard drive in the keyboard. Very random, but that's, I guess, what was available to them at the time, what they decided to make. I guess it fits some sort of niche market, and now I have also fit the niche market of watching you disassemble this, or watching me disassemble this, because this was already a niche laptop, and now you can see me disassemble it. I'm not going to put it back together because I really don't care that much, but maybe someone's trying to repair their laptop, and maybe they need to watch how to take it apart. So if you are taking it apart, take it apart a little slower, because I definitely just ripped that thing apart, and you probably want to take pictures and know where all the screws go back. But if you're still rocking one of these, good on you. Might be time to consider upgrading to something else, considering the 1 GB of RAM. Or as we saw, I guess there are some 2 GB of RAM models. Even that is probably not enough, and you might want to go for like even an HP Stream or something like that. That's pretty cheap, or maybe even a Chromebook, and then get a little more than 1 GB of RAM. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed it.